What is 25 years too old for? Leonardo DiCaprio. The swing with the leg holes at the park frown. My friend did this when he was 17. Got stuck and the fire department had to come to get him out. The best part was because he was a minor, they made him call his dad to come pick him up. This was many years ago, but I like to remind him as much as possible. Teacher here. Told a big first grader multiple times not to get into that swing, because I could see him eyeing it up. Looked away for 2 seconds and guess who jumped into it? He was lifting himself up by the chains to try to get out and then dropping when his arm strength gave out, wedging himself further into the swing instead. I told him if we couldn't get him out, we'd be calling the fire department. Thank God another teacher was able to help me. He never went near those swings again. You just turn them upside down and dump them out. Let gravity do the work. Can confirm. For starting a career as a competitive gymnast. I'm 54, but as soon as zero gravity gymnastics becomes competitive, I'm going for gold. Get that day one world record. Not cleaning up after yourself. We had a 25-year-old house guest last summer. One night he walks into the living room and goes, "Sorry guys, I clogged the toilet upstairs." We thought it was weird that he brought it to our attention, so we laughed it off and just assumed he took care of it. Nope. We walk upstairs an hour later to find the toilet filled to the brim with shit water. When I confronted him about it, he goes, "Oh, well, where I grew up somebody else would always take care of that for you." I later found out the kid grew up extremely wealthy and would just tell the maid's housekeepers to clean up his shit-clogged toilets. I hope you handed his ass a plunger and told him to get started. Not sorting your own mess in your living space is one thing, not doing it at somebody else's is plain rude. I agree, but I'd have to balance my desire to not plunge someone else's shit with my desire to not have someone first learn how to use a plunger by sloshing shit water all over my bathroom. I'd be worried he'd start jackhammering away at it like a coked-up porn star. Oh wow. There's a simile I didn't need today. I initially read that as a smile I didn't need today and got a good smile out of it myself. Screaming I'm duo one went on the toilet. Come wipe my butt. I have a brother who is 10 years older than me, and I thought his friends were the coolest. Apparently I'd regularly mortify them at about the age of 4 because I would shout that I wanted friend's name to come wipe me. That's an absolute power move, bro. Throws leg behind head while maintaining eye contact, wipe me. Peasant. I just read this in baby Stewie's voice and it's so much better. Because that is an absolute Stewie power move right there, let's be real. Stewie, pick up my poo. Brian, I'm not picking it up, cop, pick up that baby's poop. Brian : do you at least have a plastic bag? Stewie, here's a thin napkin. Too young to die. And too old to eat off the kids' menu. What a stupid age. Dating minors. Not to be confused with minors. They are some pretty hard-working people. Edit, many people are questioning what about a minor? At that point you really have to understand that it is up for discussion. To be a minor, they must be very mature for their age and not like the other girls. 15 years old. Whoop whoop, that's the sound of the police. Temper tantrum. Agreed. From now on, strictly professional tantrums only. Working in a corporate environment, I've seen many a professional tantrum. My company's CFO is a walking professional tantrum. Making mistakes and blaming everyone else, thus never learning and living in a cycle of bad choices due to lack of self-awareness. Lack of accountability. Learning that actions have consequences. You can't just undo things or backpedal your way through life. Regretting them won't help either. Instead of dwelling over the past, one should use that past as fuel for the future. What you once did wrong shouldn't be repeated, and instead, do the right thing instead. This hits home. 33 checking in. I feel you. I've done some ducked up shit in the past, most hurting myself, some hurting others. I've regretted it for a long time and wouldn't forgive myself. But I realized I deserve a second chance and I forgave myself and decided to be better. And here I am now, better than ever. Sleeping in the car and waking up in your bed. Frown. It took me a minute to process that this does not mean you passed out drunk in your car while driving and then woke up at home afterwards. Not being able to do basic chores yourself and relying at parents' partners to do them for you. I think I read too many Adas. A banana. Most bananas I get barely last a week. I think that after 25 years, it's time to throw it out. Have you tried freezing it? My mom definitely has 25-year-old bananas in her freezer. She's planning to make banana bread any day now. Looking down on stuff you liked as a teen because you're too old for it. I think that age 19-20-ish was when I realized how dumb it was to be embarrassed about hobbies and interests. Too old for drama and fake friends. Once I got out of places like college and especially high school, I really started valuing my free time and it became easier to pick out relationships I thought were actually worth it and tend to them. If you still find yourself hanging out with people you hate you once you are no longer required to be in a space with those people, that's on you. With certain exceptions pertaining to abusive relationships, of course. Emo, because it turned into an addiction. I'm gonna say drinking every day, too much partying. Cool it down before it's too late. As a 25-year-old who lives with similar-aged roommates, I notice it's about this age one starts reflecting on that party lifestyle and either addresses it or doesn't. Edit, everyone thinks I'm only talking about alcohol. I'm talking all substances that change your mind. I personally struggle with weed, although I have been 100% sober this month. Committing petty crimes. 25 is just about the age where what I call the newspaper effect starts to set in. If you read Local Man, 24, arrested for, insert petty crime, you think he's just a kid. If you read the same thing about someone 25 plus, you assume they're a piece of trash that won't get their life together. There are a couple dumbasses that I went to high school with who got arrested for throwing rocks at cars driving on the freeway. They were 32 and 33 years old and one of them has children. Edit, I just found the article and they were 31 and 32. My bad. They look exactly the way I expected, Lamau. Expecting that a significant achievement will merit prodigy status. 25 is still pretty young in coaching, government or the corporate and business world. Bro, 25 isn't still pretty young, 25 is extremely young in government, corporate, and business. You're literally just starting out and got 40 plus years left. As a 24-year-old who is just starting his first corporate role, this is reassuring, thanks. As a 28-year-old, who felt like I had hit mid-career, you've got a long way, as do I. Also faked it at 24 to 28 in my first few corporate jobs, I had barely idea of what I was doing. I felt mid-career because I'm making $100,000 and burning out. Lol, don't let that happen. I feel dumb because I've read so many stories on Reddit about burning out. I found out that no one really knows 100% how their work can contribute to a billion-dollar company and people only find their role after their first big boy role. You start shaping your career from experience. Just here to make sure nobody says video games. 25 is too old to be making fun of people for their hobbies so long as they're legal and ethical. Literally. I'm a manager at GameStop and had a guy come in my store talking shit about how he's too old to play video games and outgrew them a long time ago and that it's childish. He was probably mid-20s. And I'm just like, okay buddy, so what are you doing here? Sir, this is a GameStop. As you said, it's GameStop, not GameStart. Shitting in your pants at work. Good, think I'm still 24. Depends on the context. Shitting your pants at work on accident is something you should have grown out of by the time you're 25. However, standing in the middle of the office, grabbing everyone's attention and then purposely shitting yourself with full commitment is something that demands nothing but respect and should definitely be done after the age of 25. This guy's a straight shitter with upper management written all over him.